Y'all, it is the winter off break season for the Chicago Cubs, but the rumors continue to swirl. Could they be in on another World Series pitcher to add to their starting rotation? Let's talk about it. What's going on, Chicago Cubs Central fans, family, friends? Appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode. It's your boy Mike Jones back here again on the Chi-Town Sports Network. Excited to talk to all of you about the potential of Chicago Cubs finding value in places that others may not be looking. And in today's episode, I want to talk about somebody that I've had my eye on for quite some time. This man's name is Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty pitched for a long time for the St. Louis Cardinals, obviously the main op for the Chicago Cubs here in the National League. But Jack Flaherty was a pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was basically their linchpin for a while up until he began to have injuries, could not stay healthy. I believe he missed like a whole season and a half at one point. Um, Finally, his tenure came up with the with the White Sox, with the Cardinals, and they did not offer him or tender him a contract. He then went on to sign with the Detroit Tigers. And then, like I said, from his time with the Detroit Tigers, uh, it went okay. It went okay. Like I said, it wasn't the best. But then from there, he got traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And there is where we really began to see Jack Flaherty come back and find his own, obviously being one of the pieces that led to them becoming the eventual world champions that they are right now. So 13-7 were his numbers. He posted a 3.18 ERA, 194 strikeouts with a 1.07 whip. These are numbers that you can definitely see Jack Flaherty post for the Chicago Cubs, hopefully, maybe even better in the season for 2025, should the Cubs offer him a contract. I could see Jack Flaherty being one of those guys that could be a fifth starter. Obviously, you're not going to look and ask too much out of him being your fifth day starter. Again, just come in, give us some good innings, start the Cubs off on a good route, watch the home run ball, and just see what he can add and offer to this Chicago Cubs team, being that fifth starter. So again, I don't think, I mean, he's played in the most pressure situations, obviously pitching in the World Series just a few months ago. So again, like I said, he could actually be an option for us. And again, we wouldn't ask him to be what the St. Louis Cardinals or maybe even the Detroit Lions were looking for him to be. We wouldn't ask for him to be um basically a star pitcher for us. We would just ask him to come in and to give us good innings, to be reliable, and to be try to be as healthy as possible. Like I said, I think those are the things that we could ask of him. Replacing Kyle Hendricks, Javier Assad then goes to the bullpen, which I have said time and time again. Do not have Javier Assad as a starting pitcher. Maybe as a sixth guy that can do some spot starts, sure. But do not have him as every fifth day being your starter, like I said. And again, you can even almost pair him with Javi. I mean, you can even pair him with Jack Flaherty. And when it comes time for Jack Flaherty, let's just say he has a bad outing, he only gives you 3 to 4 innings. Then you can bring in Javier Assad, and Javier Assad can go 5, 6, 7 for you. And then from there, you turn it over to the rest of the bullpen. I like that type of lineup setup better. The guy that we're looking for to be our fifth day starter, I definitely think needs to have that type of range within him where he may not always have his best stuff, which is fine. You're not always going to be on your A game, but if you have somebody like Javier Assad that you know you can hand the ball over to as well, coming out of your bullpen, that can eat up innings, give you six, seven, give you innings 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even of just shut down, lockdown ball. Then from there, it takes the pressure off Jack and it takes the pressure off Javier Assad to necessarily have to perform the way that you think that they ought to perform. Uh, Again, like I said, it just kind of depends what you are looking for and asking for from Jack Flaherty. Again, I pull my information from the article from the Sports Illustrated that was talking about Flaherty and was saying that he could potentially be in the Cubs' eyesight as a pitcher that they could be looking to sign. So again, I think that Jack Flaherty is an option for the Cubs. He could be if some major team doesn't come and offer him a crap ton of money, he could be a low risk, high reward type of guy. The Sports Illustrated comes from Kenneth Teep. It was posted 2 hours ago, and it said that Chicago revamped its bullpen this past year as early struggles led to new players getting opportunities. Out of that, they have found some long-term pieces such as Porter Hodge and Nate Pearson. In that starting rotation, the team has already lost veteran Kyle Hendricks when he signed a deal with the Los Angeles Angels. Um, and they have a strong quartet in place already with Shota Imanaga, Justin Steele, Jameson Tyone, and he mentioned Javier Assad. But again, I'm not believing that Javier Assad needs to be in their starting lineup, in their starting rotation. The perfect addition for this team in free agency would be to add Jack Flaherty to the mix. So Flaherty made the most of his pillow contract season in 2024. He logged more innings than he had since 2019 when he looked like a budding ace in St. Louis. He thrived in Detroit and became the number one starter for the eventual World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Flaherty would like to stay with the Dodgers, but they may have their sights set a bit higher. Therefore, the Cubs could use some stability in their rotation. So he started the 2024 campaign with the Detroit Tigers after signing a one-year deal as a free agent. His production was excellent as he was traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers ahead of the deadline and helped them win the World Series. So now he's in the position to land a lucrative multi-year deal, and insights and sources believe the Cubs are the perfect team to give it to him. So reports have sworn that the Cubs are already out on some of the bigger name players on the market, as agents are not thrilled with how they are operating this offseason as a franchise in one of the largest markets. Flaherty, who turned 29 in October, is younger than some of the other pitchers hitting the market and could give him the edge in some regard. And he also performed at the highest level last season, helped anchor that staff that won the World Series. So again, there you have it. Teams are in on Jack Flaherty, and the Cubs, our Chicago Cubs, could be one of those teams looking to add Jack Flaherty as stability. Again, I'm not looking at Jack Flaherty and asking him to be my ace. If you're asking him to be your ace, that's a problem. I don't think he can stay healthy. I wouldn't depend on him to stay healthy. I'm also not going to spend mega bucks on him. There were some reports that said that he might be able to get somewhere around 115 million or might be asking for something like that. That's not where the Cubs are at. So, again, we talked about this on last Friday's episode, guys. The Cubs are going to be patient this offseason with free agency, which pisses a lot of franchises off and a lot of people off. But to that extreme, I mean, it is what it is. It pisses the fans off, too, because we want to see the Cubs make a big splash and get some for sure guys, not these wait and see approach. And hopefully this guy pans out. But what can you do? It's not our it is our franchise to root for. It is not our franchise to own. So we have to go with whatever Ricketts and Jed Hoyer claim to do. So with that being said, do you guys want to see somebody like Jack Flaherty pitching for the Chicago Cubs this next season? Again, he was in good form last year and had very good numbers, posted very good numbers for Detroit, and he got himself his first World Series ring with those Los Angeles Dodgers. Do you think that somebody like him could benefit pitching for the Cubs? For me, again, it's all about health with Flaherty. if Jack Flaherty can stay healthy, I don't have too many concerns because I know his stuff is nasty. Like I said, he is a very good pitcher. But again, the Cubs, who struggled last year already with pitchers not being available, guys going to the injured list constantly, and basically us having to come up with a makeshift bullpen midway through the season and having to rearrange our starting pitching rotation because guys just couldn't stay healthy. That's the only concern I have on Jack Flaherty. Now, if he's willing to take a deal 1 year, 2 years, maybe, with maybe a player option after one, a deal, year one, I'm cool with that. I can live with that. Maybe somewhere around 20-30 million dollars. I'm cool with that. I can live with that. For the whole thing, not 20-30 million dollars just this season. I can live with that. I think that those will be great odds for the Chicago Cubs. And again, it's a low risk contract. It's not looking like, you're going to end up stuck with this guy for 6-7 years, and you got to deal with all these injuries and his career going up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, I hope that in that Dodgers organization and with that Detroit organization, he found something within his pitch. And of course, when you get him in here with the pitching lab for the Chicago Cubs, we'll definitely work with him even more to see exactly what he has to offer. But again, you're looking at this, and Jack Flaherty is one of those players that the Cubs absolutely could take a flyer on, see what's out there, see if he is able to recreate or bring to the Cubs what he did for the Dodgers and locking down that fifth starter position for the Cubs in the coming season. I think Flaherty can do that. I think that is absolutely an option of what we should be looking at if he does not get any other type of deals or offers that are long term. Again, come to the Cubs, help us make us better, help us compete day in and day out. And yeah, we'll see what happens from there. I've long had my eyes on Jack Flaherty. I remember I live closer. It's crazy, guys. I live closer to St. Louis than I do to Chicago now. But when, like I said, so I always hear what's going on down in St. Louis. And when he was pitching for them, he just did not. He never got the respect that I felt like he deserved as a pitcher from Cardinals fans. And they were always talking about trading him. They were always talking about how, they just didn't like him or whatnot. And they didn't treat him right. But I always have my eye on him. Like, man, when this contract comes due, the Cubs should definitely take a look at him because he definitely offers a lot when it comes to pitching and leadership. Again, we're not looking for him to be an ace. If he gets to that type of mode, perfect. But again, can you be our fourth or fifth guy in the rotation that comes in and just gives good innings? And like I said, just basically stabilizes our starting pitching rotation for the 2025 season. That's what we look for out of Jack Flaherty. I don't know. Like I said, we're still waiting for the Cubs to make some more moves. It's gone quiet again within the organization, so we're all left here now just to speculate on what they will do moving forward. But we're looking for things to pick up here soon, and obviously, when they do, I will be giving you those nightly episodes as well as soon as the Cubs begin to make some moves. So, with that being said, that's my time for today. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Let me know in the comments, is Jack Flaherty somebody you want to see in a Cubs uniform in 2025 for our 2025 campaign? Again, I think that he could be somebody that we could see in a Cubs uniform if he comes cheap. So again, we know Ricketts and we know Hoyer. They're cheap and they're trying to find value in the cheapest way. So we'll see what happens with that. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Guys, we love hearing from the listeners and the viewers. Leave us a voicemail at 773-389-6954. Email us at chicagobaseballcentral@gmail.com. Follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Chicago Cubs Central. We're constantly posting content on all of those sites as well. So again, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Chicago Cubs Central. Again, I'm not here. We're not here. We're not able to do this without you, the listeners. So, once again, make sure you like, share, subscribe with friends, family, everybody trying to grow this channel to 2,000 subs. Hopefully, by the time the season starts, by the time first pitch goes out, we can have another celebration because this channel has reached 2K subscribers. Appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, it's your boy Mike Jones.